It wasn't that long ago when the portrayal of zombies on the big screen was quite rare. Creatures not risen from the dead, but being controlled and manipulated by some evil puppet master. These zombies had a voodoo origin and were often portrayed more as slaves rather than as the undead as we think of them here in 2025.
Land of the voodoo comes the most infamous cult of all.
It wasn't until George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead in '68, where the zombie, more frequently known as ghouls back then, became the shambling creatures that have captured the horror-loving public's attention. Early depictions, and through limited budgets and special effects, had the undead as pale people with a limp. The makeup, while creepy and certainly effective for the time, wasn't as ghastly as would be made more famous in Italian zombie pictures of the late 70s and early 1980s, thanks to Lucio Fulci's Zombie 2, a pseudo-sequel to Romero's Dawn of the Dead from 1978. The monsters featured in Zombie 2 weren't just ghostly figures that lurch around farms and vacant towns, but instead were decomposed, rotten, covered in rags and heaped with maggots and worms, virtually indistinguishable from what we'd consider to be the living dead today. So, let us not forget the humble origins of our favourite slow-moving infected. They didn't start as gore-drenched towers of rot, but rather as just men and women with pale makeup and slow gaits. However, just because one is closer to what we imagine, doesn't necessarily mean there isn't a place for both in cinema. To forget the origin of these lumbering beasts is to invite monopoly into our favourite genre. We can't have that.
Will come back to life to seek human victims.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.